Good morning and welcome back to For Starters. I'm Chris Crosby. Today I want to talk about the notion of apprenticeship and mentorship and getting back in the office or at least getting back into environments where you can be around people that you can learn from and that can help you grow your career. So looking back, I spent a lot of time sort of reflecting on early stage company success as well as sort of building leadership capacity in folks early on in their career. And I was very fortunate in my early stages of career, long before I starting companies, to be surrounded by very influential and very strong mentors that took the time to invest in me as a young manager, as a young leader, to view the world through a business lens or through an entrepreneurship lens. So I worked for people directly that had started businesses, call center outsourcing primarily, and had sold those. And then I was working into larger companies, and then I was working directly for those individuals. And so they took the time to walk me through a P&L, to walk me through how to run a business and challenged my thinking and influenced me, on a near daily basis. And so for me, going into the office wasn't even like a thing to contend. It was like that's just how we operated back in before COVID, right? And the mistake I see a lot of people making today is that they've never been in that environment to actually learn and grow. And so when I started Lattigent, my first company, I wasn't doing a startup, right? Because back then when I said startup, everybody looked at you like you had two heads. Yeah, I'm that old, but what I was doing was starting a business, and I had a co-founder, a great co-founder. And so we always looked at that through the lens of like, not how do we go raise a bunch of money and get to A, B, and C. It was how do you get from A to Z and survive and grow and thrive as a company. And that came through things like strong financial management and understanding the vernacular in business. It came by a whole lot of naivety as well around not knowing what you can't do, because you've seen it, play out. So I think the real message today, and Robert Greene wrote a great book on this, Mastery, back in I think 2012. That was pretty influential at that point in my life too. And it is about taking on these apprenticeships. So look at it like, how you're consuming content, and if you are remote, and you don't have access to a mentor, or some type of on-the-job training today, create that virtually. Go find the resources that are going to make you think differently than the clickbait on LinkedIn or the social networks. That's actually a large part of why I've started this podcast, is because I appreciate how influential that early stage development was for me in my growth and success, and how I've been able to take what I metabolized early on and extrapolate that out over the last couple of decades. So start there and let me know what you think.